I sometimes binge on food, like periods of time, like for months. And then I crash. Oh.
Right into the mic.
Hello and welcome back to the Croak and Crow pod.
Cast.
I am Spencer Cartier.
And I am Lorna Doone.
And this is Frank. Now that he's got a job, he's invested in some fresh threads.
Yep.
Got the button up, the Jefferson hat. He's actually administering COVID-19 vaccines.
Yeah, his hat is interesting because did you ever hear of Jefferson University in Philadelphia?
Yes, I have.
Okay, well, I didn't.
Neither have I. I thought it was a hospital.
Right. So
and a station. You know, the train station.
Oh, is it?
Switched from Suburban to Jefferson.
Really?
Yep.
Someone told me they went to Jefferson University in Philadelphia, and I was like, I don't know this school. So I did know the Jefferson Hospital.
It's called Jefferson University Hospital.
Right. And I did know there was medical students there.
Yeah, I thought it was
right.
Like practice.
So I was so confused. If you look at his hat, it says Philadelphia University. Does it? I can't see from this side. And then Thomas Jefferson University. So let me tell you this.
Okay. We're going to get to the bottom of this.
We're going to get to the top and the bottom. My sister Christina went to the Philadelphia College of Textiles and Science. Okay. Here, that turned into Philadelphia University. They took off the college, Philadelphia College of Textiles. And then they teamed up with Jefferson Hospital students, I guess. And they made this new thing called Jefferson University.
Okay.
So it's like a collab.
Shout out to all the Jefferson University students who are watching this podcast today.
Yep.
Today is Friday, which means only one thing. It is
Fantastic Friday.
It's Fantastic Friday. It's dress down day. I'm wearing a hoodie.
You're wearing Frank's hat.
Yeah, I know. I needed a hat for today, and this was just sitting. It was on Frank's shoulder for some reason, and I was like, "Okay, perfect, thanks, Frank." So that worked out.
Yeah. Do you like that hat? Maybe you would like it. It's brand new.
How do I look?
There, brand new.
I feel like I look like a tennis player with a white hat on.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I'll wear it in the future, but today I'm going blue
because
the blue accents the blue in the hoodie.
You're blue, and he's just going to be a Jeff student, and it's.
But yeah, it's so it's Fantastic Friday,
Mm-hmm.
And
I wanted it to be Set Fire Friday.
Set Fire Friday.
Mm-hmm.
You want to set things on fire?
Yeah, but I thought better of it.
It'll never be Set Fire Friday. I feel like this is a clip that I'm going to use in the future when we're setting things on fire on Friday, and it'll never be Set Fire Friday. All right, let's get to the point. You guys know why we're here.
Yeah, because we already mentioned it yesterday.
We mentioned it yesterday. Today's Fantastic Friday is going to be about a more serious issue, and that is this week of February is National Eating Disorder Awareness Week.
Right.
And so we're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
We're going to dive into it. Okay, so Eating Disorder Week, Eating Disorder Awareness Week.
Eating Disorder Awareness Week.
It's
very important.
It's a very important issue.
It's very important. Okay, so to start me out, because I'm older than you are.
Okay.
When I grew up, I remember that we first started to become aware of anorexia. I'm not saying that's when it started. I'm guessing through time, people had eating disorders. But I remember it had a name, and it started to be called things. And I told you before that my dad had a favorite. He loved music, but one of his favorite couple groups, whatever, the Carpenters, which is a brother sister. Voice of an Angel, and she had anorexia nervosa, and she died from it, unfortunately. But it was just so new to us. And like, it was a time of tabloids back then.
Yep.
And so it was all over every tabloid, and people didn't understand. People were like, why is she starving herself to death? Like,
yeah.
Couldn't wrap their minds around it. They're like, she's famous, she's pretty, she's rich, and all you have to do is eat, and you won't do it.
Yeah.
So it was a real like head scratcher. Obviously that was many, many, many years ago, and we've come very, very far. And it's not as simple as, well, it's one eating disorder, but if you were to talk about that one, it's not as simple as just eating something.
It's not as simple as just eating something. It doesn't have a look, a certain type of person.
No.
Doesn't have a gender.
No.
It goes every age, and there's not, like, you might think, oh, I can tell someone has an eating disorder by the looks of them. Not true. Not at all. That's false. And I'm going to tell you why. I don't really have a reason why. But
because it's just, everyone has a brain.
Everyone has a brain.
And so everyone's brain may have this disorder. Like it wouldn't be, classically you would think, oh, the young lady wants to wear, her wedding dress, or, you'd have a stereotype in your mind.
Yeah.
But it's not the case. And I don't know what the statistics were years ago. But from this week of seeing people's posts, awareness posts, thank you for the people who have posted and educated me. I saw that right now, so I don't know what it was before, but right now, little children, it is you're more likely to have an eating disorder than to be obese. Because they are inundated with, that fat is bad, and these are the diseases that come from.
Especially now. I mean, I'm not one to say, oh, technology is doing this, but younger technology.
Mm-hmm.
Like TikTok, I'm old on TikTok. Like, the stars and the audience have gotten significantly younger than social media was for the generations prior.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're having, 8-year-old girls or boys idolizing 13-year-old girls or boys, where it's like neither of them really have it all figured out. No one has it figured out, but especially when you get so young influence and young, and it's just so easy to follow.
Right.
That stuff. But it's not, I also don't, I'm not here for it. It's a follower thing.
No.
Like, oh yeah, it's because you're following all those people and you want to look like them. I think it's very personal, and that's what makes it so tough. Is it's not I think this is a lot of I think, because I don't know.
Yeah, we do not know.
Yeah, don't listen to us.
We are sympathetic towards it, and we are aware of it.
Yeah. And
we are cautious about it happening to us.
Yeah.
But we are in no way we don't have the statistics. We don't have the actual definitions, but you do talk about fitness a lot and gym a lot, and
here we go. I knew this would turn into an intervention.
Well, I'm just saying, I didn't want our audience to think that you are unaware of the fact that what is this? Like fitness doesn't, like you just said, fitness doesn't have a look. You can't look at someone and say they are fit because of the size of their pants.
Yeah. Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about body dysmorphia, okay? For those of you who don't know, body dysmorphia is the psychological thing of you seeing your body differently than it actually looks. And so when you see a really skinny person and then they're like trying to lose weight, you have to get the notion out of your head that it's, oh, just like you're skinny enough. Don't lose, like that person isn't seeing the same person you're seeing.
Right.
They're like they are and it's like it's psychological. It's not like I know I'm skinny, but I want to lose 5 more pounds. It's like it's this truth, it's this body dysmorphia where it's like, no, like I'm overweight. Like I need to get rid of this. It's like, no, I just need to lose this much. And
it's just so hard for outsiders to understand that, you know what I mean? That they're being compelled to do it. Yeah.
So as a guy who celebrates fitness and stuff, it's also given me a look into the world of people actively trying to change their bodies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there is plenty of room for good, but there is plenty of opportunity for bad.
Right.
And it's all usually the biggest guys at the gym. And this isn't like, I'm not saying that they're starving themselves or anything. A lot of them have body dysmorphia, and they feel small. They feel weak, and you're looking at them and they're these giants, but it's chasing that feeling of whatever it's going. You know what? Let's talk about guys for a second. Let's hear it for the boys. Let's give the boys a hand.
Let's hear it for the boys. Let's give the boy a hand.
Let's talk about boys. A not much talked about subject, but I'm a boy, so this is all I know.
That's right.
I think a lot more boys, men, guys, have eating disorders than you would think.
Okay. Underreported.
And this is for a couple of factors that I've came up with. First factor. Before I get to the first factor, I'm going to talk about my story. So, I have an interesting relationship with food, some would say.
Yeah.
And so, I keep fitness going through all of this, but I sometimes binge on food, periods of time, like for months, and then I crash. Oh.
Right into the mic?
Yeah, I go on crash diets.
Yeah.
Which aren't always good. It might be fueled by some body dysmorphia. I don't know. I'm not a psychologist. And I'm getting to the first reason. This will be a story. So, like a couple months ago, maybe in the summer, I gained some quarantine weight. Mm-hmm. Who doesn't? And I went on an extreme crash diet.
Yeah.
That probably wasn't healthy. I wouldn't recommend it. I was losing a lot of weight. I think I lost 30 pounds in 2 months.
Right.
Or 25 pounds in 2 months. Not healthy. And so here's a photo of me on the beach. I look good, right? I look healthy. I look fit.
What people aspire to.
I look fit as a fiddle. Now let me tell you some deep, dark secrets, and don't tell your friends because it'll embarrass me. But
yeah, only the people who watch are privy to this.
Yeah, this is for you, Croak and Crowers. Like, that same week I took that photo, there was a morning where I woke up because I had not been eating like anything. I went to the bathroom, and then immediately I got tunnel vision. I was about to pass out. I barely made it back to my bed before I crashed and I felt like I was dying.
Yeah.
All from this malnutrition and this male nutrition. And it wasn't good. It was this process of this unhealthy process with one. And the other thing is, here's another picture of me on the beach. In that photo, I was telling myself in my head, I still have 5 pounds to go. And my weight went, like, the reason I lost so much weight is because I was telling I was 190 something.
A goal.
And so the first goal I hit it, and I'm like, hit it. Until the point it was like, well, when does the goal stop?
Yeah.
When is it over?
Right.
And it's never over. And that's the slip. Luckily, I caught myself. But
right.
If you are chasing that dragon, that's why it's so detrimental.
Right.
And because it's you're not seeing the journey. Oh, look where I came from. You're saying, but I'm not there yet. And it's always it's like drugs, where with heroin and stuff, they say the first high is the most intense, and then after that, you're always trying to chase it.
Right.
So especially if so many people have a hard time losing weight. So when you start doing it and you see it, it's like, but I know I can do it. I know I can do 5 more pounds. But okay, so now wait, whoa, that was a long tangent. So the reasons why guys have eating disorders more. First is biologically.
Okay.
So one of the things I learned is guys and girls carry weight differently.
Right.
So in that picture, I was about, I'm going to say 8% body fat. And you can see, tonage in the abdominals and all that, where girls hit that amount of tonus like I think 14% body fat.
Oh, okay.
Now, these are all math numbers, but what I'm saying is when you see these chiseled guys, you don't realize how thin they actually are because
Wow.
girls carry weight
Right.
without having it in places that society deems places not to have weight.
Right.
And so like a girl at 8% body fat looks extremely much skinnier than a guy at 8% body fat.
Oh, okay.
So that's one of the reasons. And yeah, and the other thing, same thing. Guys, when you get lower, you look stronger. So with like I'm generalizing here, but when girls have eating disorders and stuff, you start to see the frailness.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of guys before they get to that frailness, they get cut, as the kids call it.
Right.
And so they're cut and then they're lean, but in reality, they're malnourished, they're dehydrated,
Yeah.
and they're celebrated.
Right. Yes.
So-
exactly.
It's a recipe for like if you go to the gym and you see these guys, you would never say they have an eating disorder in any
Right.
way. But
Right.
I'm just saying I think a good percentage of them may.
Yeah. People are trying to change society, and I applaud them for that. And I wait for the day when it will be changed, when people won't equate certain body types with fitness and other body types with,
Yeah.
laziness.
Yeah.
But like I said, that's a very long road.
Yeah.
You have to just worry about yourself. And you have to, and we talk about that all the time on Croak and Crow.
Yeah.
Talk to yourself. Ask yourself if that makes sense. If you know that you were going to faint, if you went to the gym, a trainer might have said to you, no, you're fine.
Yeah.
All you needed was some sugar. You have to know yourself, and you have to give up the fairy tale.
Yeah. No, definitely. And so I'm an advocate still for going to the gym, eating right, and doing all these things. But my motto is this now, and I'm making it up on the spot, but now I'm going to live by it.
Okay.
Take care of your body, not based on your eyes, but on how you feel.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Because when I was
Intuitive.
when I was at my
Fitness.
absolute skinniest, I felt weak. I was tired. I was weak.
Right.
And when putting on a healthy few more pounds, I feel stronger. I feel better. I can run a marathon. So you say don't listen to others and stuff, but a lot of it is a personal thing, and I'm doing this for myself. Like I want to look the best, but I think we should all be striving to feel the best.
Okay.
Physically,
Mm-hmm.
and I think we should be working on our bodies, but you need to be very careful because
Right.
a healthy walk a day, like I do, can quickly turn into you're burning more calories and you're like
Yeah, depending on there's so many factors.
yeah. And when we're also not just talking about being too skinny, it's
Bulking up,
yeah, just
eliminating certain foods from your diet.
yeah, that's a big one. I see these people going on these crazy fad diets, and it's like even keto. Okay, I'm not a fan of this keto, putting your body in ketosis. Do I have any science backing me up? No, but just like, oh, I'm gonna have my body work off the fats instead of the carbs, and it's just this like unhealthy relationship with food,
Right.
rather than mindful. I'm about mindful eating,
Right.
but I'm about you want to enjoy a long, healthy life, and if you get sucked into this rabbit hole that is trying to make your body look a certain type of way or
Right.
doing a certain type of thing, you're neglecting all the other great things,
Yeah.
which is feeling your or even guess what? I always say this. I say people put too much value on, and I mean me included, but like fitness and I want to look like this and stuff, and you don't realize what you're giving up. And then if you like, it's easy to want to live the life you're living now and then look this certain type of way, but the amount of stuff you have to give up and go through. A lot of people, if they were given the option, they would choose a social life. Like they would choose because they'll say, "Oh, I know I want that."
Right.
You get more enjoyment out of
Yeah.
going out with your friends and having some brownies and, you know, going to the movies and having soda pop, that brings you more joy. That it's the 80-20 idea, right? 80 at 20. They usually say it in relationships when if you're dating somebody and you cheat on them, it's because this 80-20 model of the person you're with is 80% of the things that you need.
Okay.
The other person was 20. And so you cheated, you got everything, but then you lose the 80 and then you're stuck with the 20.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with that. It's like it's easy to neglect, to not see all of the enjoyments you have in life and then realize that who cares? Like I'd rather have a happy, enjoyable life. A happy, healthy, enjoyable life than to chase.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Even, you know, a long life doesn't sound good if it's
without cookies.
If it's like painful, you know. Now, we're not saying that an eating disorder can be conquered just by thinking about. You know, you need professional help.
It's a serious issue.
Yeah,
it's
just as serious as any other serious disorder that you need people who are highly skilled to help you.
Yeah.
And don't assume, you know, if this eating disorder awareness week or anytime, don't assume if you see someone who is what you don't consider to be an average body type that they have an eating disorder.
Yes.
If you see someone larger, you can't assume that they eat more than someone else. If you see someone thin,
you can't assume that
that they're restricting themselves.
Yeah. I remember it was like the beginning of with this wave of like, you know, body positivity. It's all good stuff, but there was a few things where it was these naturally very skinny girls, and they were like, I feel like we're being attacked because they were like, it was pro body positivity, but it was like sort of anti. Well, this is what society wants, and these people are like, I can't change my body.
Right.
So yeah,
that's what I was saying, and absolutely. You can't like rely on yourself if yourself is giving you the wrong information. Yeah. But, you know, if it's not, then you should rely on yourself and not compare yourself to other people. No. And you know, if you don't have a psychological disorder that needs expert help, you can just meditate on the fact that your body's a gift from God. Yeah. And it helps you stand and sit and walk and it doesn't have to look a certain way. No. Everyone's different, and it's all good. Like we spend too much time worrying about how we look, but and so I'm going to say it again. I'm all for going to the gym and working your butt off, but I think it can be done. I think, right? More people need to go to the gym and work out. I'm just gonna keep plugging it because I said this when I told you when I first started going to the gym. I went because I wanted to look really good. Yeah. And be on the beach like, what's up? But that didn't come, obviously. But what I did notice was I was getting stronger. Like I would see and so it was that kept me going. And I think these are the kinds of things that you want to work on with your body. Yeah. Like don't cut foods out of your diet. Don't change your, like, the first thing I would say, you know, is like, okay, is if like I said, what I do, don't do as I say, not as I do. Don't even cut calories out. Replace them. Replace you know those goldfish with what's the healthy raisins. I'm a big raisin guy. I love raisins. But and then when you go to the gym, don't go on the treadmill. Don't go for a walk. Forget cardio. Lift some weights. Weights are important. Lift some 5-pound dumbbells. Weights are important. I always think, I mean, I don't go to the gym, and just for so many different reasons. But if you are even going to do stuff in your house, definitely, I'm not interested in sculpting my body, or I don't put value on it
It's not
for
important.
others. But I mean, there's no judgment. It like we talked about plastic surgery. If somebody wants to get a facelift, I'm not going to judge them for that, and they can be creative. So if someone wants to be creative and, you know, healthily change their body, that's fine. But my little 2 cents is do things that, like my mom used to say, you know, learn a sport that you can do into old age. So like golf or tennis or, you know, something like this. But weightlifting is so important all the way, you know, for centenarians. Weightlifting is so important. And you wouldn't even know that, but it's, you know, you think of weightlifter, you know, you think of Frank, but like just lifting can of soup. Flexibility is so important.
Flexibility. That's the other thing. Because I thought about it. I was like, if someone's like, Spencer, I feel like crap. I don't like my body. What do I do? And so I was thinking in my head, don't worry about losing weight. Like when I lost a ton of weight, what I learned is I'm become like, it wasn't when you think of manly and strong,
right?
Abs and pecs, but realistically, like I said, I mean, when you're that low, it's like you don't have really much weight behind you.
Right.
You're not feeling strong. You're not growing. The stronger guy is the guy who has a healthy look. He's big, but besides the point. So I was like, so don't cut weight. I was like, cut out the cardio, lift weights, and stretch.
Yeah.
And those are the 2 things that if you work on those 2 things, you are going to say, I feel great. Like, I feel in charge of my body. I feel emboldened. I feel powerful.
Right.
Nothing's more freeing than flexibility. When I was a dancer, you guys remember that I used to be a dancer?
Mm-hmm.
And so they would have, I would stretch every day, like for more than I'd like. But I was never more flexible than I had been then.
Right.
I never felt more in shape. Like that, like it felt, I wasn't tight. I was just like loosey-goosey. That's game changing.
We are humans for a period of time. And then we are our continuing, beautiful, everlasting spirits, and we get non-perishable bodies in heaven. But while we are these clumsy, you know, bags of bones, and water,
of bones, Jones.
Just like your car, you know, you want to keep it.
Work on the engine, not on the.
Another good thing to work on is these aren't eating disorders. This is, you know, we're talking about working out now, but
I change everything to a working out podcast. Stability.
The older you get, the more off balance you can get. And, you know, people will fall, then older people fall. Their bone density is worse, and they break something. And so you can do stability training.
Yeah.
Breathing is very, very important. It's very important to be able to breathe.
Yeah.
Okay. And you think, oh, I'm going to build my muscles. I'm going to build this and that. You know, you want to build up your lung capacity and the strength of taking deep breaths and expelling deep breaths. You ever see an older person, they can hardly blow out their candles.
Yeah.
Not because there's more candles. I'm serious. But because you're losing this power.
Yeah.
These things, along with your beautiful brain and your
play some chess, your
kindness, these things are more important.
Yeah.
But if you do have an eating disorder, don't be ashamed by it.
No. Yeah. Obviously, when
it's right there in our faces. You know,
when we're offering advice, that's to the average. That's to the average Joe who
not at all. This
is even. I won't even go as far. I would say eating disorder. I would say, you know, body dysmorphia, wanting to change. That's the advice to change. But eating disorders are a serious thing that
need so much professional help.
That aren't fixed just by saying, "Oh, I never thought about that." Of course, you have friends and family around you telling you this. But the other thing is don't be afraid to go seek help. Right?
Absolutely.
No matter what stage you're at.
Right.
Don't think like they're gonna laugh at me. Like I'm not even because obviously like, that's a problem. You know, is when you don't think that you're too skinny or then when do you see that, okay, I might have a problem.
Right.
In your mind, you truly are like, nobody's going to take me seriously if I say I'm losing too much weight. So
Yeah, like you made unwise decisions. I've made a million unwise
I've
decisions.
never made an unwise decision.
About you just said you fainted because you were trying to get
Oh
a,
yes. Okay.
a beach photo. I've made a million poor choices with dieting,
Yeah.
exercise, fasting, sweating, wrapping myself in saran wrap and going into a sauna, just try to rush things along. But by the grace of God, we didn't have actual diagnosable,
Yes.
eating disorders. And we are not saying that we did. These are things, you know what I'm saying? Like you can have bad drinking episodes and you don't have a true drinking
Alcoholism.
problem. Right. So, we're not saying that, but so of course the people who have eating disorders, they know that they need to speak to their people.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we're more talking to people around those people and not to say insensitive things like you're too skinny, you're too fat.
Yeah.
Why don't you have a sandwich? Why don't you not have a sandwich?
Yeah.
You don't miss a meal. Like, because I'm not okay. When someone unfortunately takes their own life, and then someone will say, "Oh well, this person said this to him, or this did this," and it's like they can't take the blame. That person had a true and complete mental disorder.
Yeah.
So same thing. If you tell someone, "Oh, you look like you gained some weight over the holidays," you are not responsible for throwing them into an eating disorder, but you can trigger them.
Yeah.
So you have to be awareness week. Be aware that you don't know even the people closest to you. You think you know them, but you got to be careful.
Yeah. No, definitely. For sure. Like you never know what someone's going through. You don't know what it's like to walk in their shoes.
No.
And like we said, with these things, it doesn't have an age, face, size, or gender.
No.
So treat the same way. Don't go around saying, "Oh, when's the baby coming?"
Right.
Treat that with everything. And even if, because it's so that important. If someone had an eating disorder and they got over it, it's like, "Oh wow, you look so healthy." Like,
right.
You know what damage that can do to that person?
Absolutely.
Where they're like, "Great," and then it's like, I know what you meant by that.
Yeah.
And even you meant your great intentions, but besides, I was going to say something else.
Yeah, you never know. Even people talk about children, and that baby's good because it's so fat and healthy, and that baby needs, this more. And I've seen families where there's two different sized children in the same household with the same access to food.
Mm-hmm.
So there's just so much more at play than just you assuming that you know what's going on with those people. But spiritually,
it's just, you have to remember, where on earth, if you're a spiritual person, listen up, where on earth to live the longest, healthiest, best life, to then go to the afterlife and see what's waiting for us there. So I always talk about working out and all that, but it's all nonsense. It's just part of me playing this earthly fun game. It's not what it's really about. And so
it's being not in pain.
It's being not in pain, yeah.
So, there are people in pain because they neglect it. Like balance.
Balance.
Don't neglect any part of you. So your body is something that you don't want to neglect, but you also don't want to obsess.
You don't want to neglect, but you don't want to upset. Yeah, just treat it like anything. You want to have a healthy balance. Balanced.
And I think the takeaway.
What's the takeaway?
Be nicer to the guys. People think we're the same, and the same way you wouldn't say to a woman, like you wouldn't poke her stomach and be like you just said, "Are you pregnant?" But you do it to men all the time because it's like, ha ha ha. Of course he's not pregnant. He's a man.
Yeah.
That's still very rude that you're, I'm serious. Like you're laughing because people think that men don't have feelings.
Well, yeah. I mean, men don't have feelings. Us boys, we know what we're talking about. But no, but more than that, yeah, definitely with guys. I mean, I think we're like in this one instance, we're like 10 years behind on guys to girls. Like we're still the people we're idolizing for men, like I said.
Yeah,
Very
it's
low.
funny. If I'm right with where you're going, on the most recent episode of Saturday Night Live, they had a little fake little game show, and it was best chicken legs, or who has the best chicken legs, or something like this. And it was men, and they would come out and they were making fun of themselves about their chicken legs, And I thought, that's funny that's okay, because where we are right now in 2021, that wouldn't be okay if we were making fun of the women like that.
Yeah, no, and so it's good. This week isn't about giving advice. There's professionals for that.
That's right.
This week isn't about. That's all I had was giving advice. What this week is about is awareness. Okay.
Yeah.
We're not here prescribing things. We are just bringing awareness that this isn't.
Yeah.
This has always been an issue. Now, hopefully, we're going in the right direction of making it open.
Yeah.
Making it a safe place for people to speak about it, to seek help, making help easy is accessible. That's the word. And so that's
and we think you're beautiful.
Even if you're beautiful.
Even if you're in the throes of getting help at the moment, and so you're not recovered.
Yeah.
People say like, "Oh, like it's so hard to look at you."
Who says that?
No, like for eating disorders, they do. Like they try to shame them into.
Oh my God!
Getting
what kind
better.
Of people do that?
Oh, a lot.
Oh, it's
try
terrible.
to shame them into getting better by saying like you look so bad.
Oh my God!
It's all just ashes. We did Ash Wednesday. It's all just ashes to ashes, dust to dust, and we see your spirit and we love you.
Yeah, we think you are just the baddest thing on the planet. And that's sincere. I mean,
yeah.
That's sincere. You're welcome to the lunch table, and we only sit with good-looking people. So if you're sitting
That's
here,
right.
if you're here listening, sitting at the lunch table, you must be a 10 in my book.
Yeah.
But hey, that's our podcast. We'll have some help things in the bio, but spread awareness. Even if you're not part of this group who's going through something, that's great. That means that you are just another person who can spread awareness for such a serious and important topic. But that's our podcast. We will be back on Sunday with a Christian meme review. The King is coming back. He's back in town, and it's going to be a good one. So look out for that, and we'll be back with podcast next week. But that's our show. Peace.
You don't have energy?